My name is Insane Raven. I've been cutting this class trial up in the weirdest of places, so we're just gonna fucking end this shit.
If the person inside the suit were unconscious, they could still stand up like that. Because that Robo-Justice suit had a certain characteristic.
Do you remember what it was?
That's right! They totally made a mistake when they made it, so it couldn't bend at the waist.
However, that was a mistake.
I'm not so sure that was a mistake.
Hey!
The suit was designed from the beginning to be used the way it was.
Hey!
Celeste and Hifumi took the suit specially designed and stuffed Hiro into it. That's how they were able to fake that whole thing. The point of it all was to make us believe whoever was in the suit was to blame.
Hey!
Well then, I suppose this is checkmate.
That was gross. Oh, she losing it! She losing it! We're going topsy-turvy!
What do you mean, checkmate?
Oh, she's never lost, right?
Celeste? Clearly! You want to cram me into your little guilty box? Well, there's one little problem. Have you already forgotten what Hifumi told us as he lay dying? When we asked him who had attacked him, his answer was quite clear, was it not?
Except for the fact when you consider that you guys work together and are obviously trying not to pin each other to the crime.
Hagakure!
Right, but my name isn't really Yasuhiro. It's actually Taro.
Your confusing statements don't make any sense. You're only making things more complicated.
He
You
did
idiots.
say Yasuhiro. But are we sure he was really pointing the finger at Hiro?
What the hell are you talking about? I'll burn you alive!
You seem totally in control right
What do
now.
you mean by that?
Think back to how Hifumi used to talk to us. How did he refer to each of us?
He said people's last names.
That's right! Our last names! He called us all by our last names!
Exactly. I know I heard him say Mr. Naegi more than once, for example.
More than once.
He did mean to say Hiro's name. He would have said his last name, Hagakure.
Yep.
I'm sure it was just incidental. By chance, his first name. Indecent?
Don't talk.
Random chance.
Don't
Now,
talk.
isn't that a convenient explanation? No. There's no reason to think he would have said the name any different than normal. But he must have run out of energy before he could say any more.
So Hifumi was trying to tell us the last name of whoever killed him?
And you know who infamously doesn't have a last name?
Doesn't apply to anyone here.
Well, no. Hold on. There's one person it could apply to, and that's Celeste. She never actually told us what her real name is.
What did you just say? To think you'd take your false accusation so far, I don't know whether to laugh or spit! Come on!
You were so
Enough
angry.
idiotic blather. Yasuhiro is a loser's name. Do I look like a loser to you?
You look like a psychopathic
Do I?
murderer.
I think I've earned the right to be a little on edge.
Okay, then fill us in. What's your real name?
Make sure your ear holes are wide.
Your ears.
My real name is Celestia Ludenberg. Could you please stop making me repeat myself over and over again?
She did say that her name was Ludenberg. I have to do something to make her agree to it? What? The e-handbook.
Hifumi was trying to tell us something. He wanted us to know the killer's last name. Yasuhiro.
Too gung-ho again.
Shoot!
I'm doing that way often in this class trial.
Hifumi was trying to tell us. He wanted us to know the killer's last name.
If there's one person here who might have that last name,
It would have to be you, Celeste. You haven't told anyone what your real name is.
How many times do I have to tell you? My name is Celestia Lodenberg, god damn it!
Oh shit!
How long do you plan on pretending?
I'm not pretending. It's the truth. You have no way to contradict me.
No, that's wrong. That's it. The handbook.
What?
Anytime you turn your handbook on, it shows the owner's name when it boots up, right?
Yep.
Monokuma told us all about it before.
Like day one, right?
So all we have to do is check your handbook, and that'll clear up everything. That's how we can find out Celeste's real name.
Yep.
An invasion of privacy. I refuse to cooperate.
Celeste, can you please just tell us what really happened? Please, just tell us.
Even when I'm put in check, it's just my nature not to give up. Because until the game's over, you never know what might happen.
Fine then. Let me settle it. Let me go over the case again, from the beginning, and shed light on all your crimes.
And let me end this. Closing reference. Alright. Oh, there's a lot more this way, huh? Wait, hold on. Take that off. I don't know about that. I'll be honest. To the rec room. Rec room is at 1. They summoned a hero first, got him into the body. The camera? Where's the camera? Wristwatch. Justice Hammer 3, right? That was Justice Hammer 4. He used the top. Oh no, wait. Yeah. So I think we got everything where we need it to be except for this one. How they got together. That's not from this case. That's not from this case. So we got 1, 2, 3 things maybe.
Here's exactly what
I think maybe.
Before anything, the killer persuaded someone to help carry out the murder.
Oh wait, no. Are you kidding me? Oh my god. I will say that Celeste did end up proving to be
Give up yet.
a worthy opponent. Like, holy shit. So I'm looking for the accomplice, which in this case was Hifume. Okay, so now everything kind of makes sense. They called Homie 1, and Homie was Hero. Then they took the picture of them struggling, put him to meet up there. That was Justice Hammer number 3. Justice Hammer number 2. Justice Hammer number 4. Moved the card though. And they ended it with this.
The killer is you!
Gotcha.
Before anything, the killer persuaded someone to help carry out the murder. And that person was
Hifume.
Hifumi. With an accomplice, the killer was able to execute a number of otherwise impossible schemes.
Tick, 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 tick.
First, they convinced someone to meet them in the rec room last night at 1 in the morning. That someone they met with was Hero. The
Hook,
murderous
line,
duo
sinker.
intended to pass Hero off as the prime suspect. So when they met up with him, they drugged him, knocked him out, and stuffed him into the Robo-Justice suit.
Yep.
Next, Hifumi positioned himself to make it look like Robo-Justice was attacking him, while the killer used a digital camera to take pictures of the assault. They
Yep.
did all this just to create evidence that would put the suspicion on Hero. When they were done with him, they shoved him, still unconscious, into the pool room locker. And then finally, at 6 a.m., they moved into the murder phase of their plan. They called Taka to the equipment room.
Hifume's pretty gross, man.
And that's where Hifumi killed him, making it the scene of the first murder.
Oh, was it Justice Hammer number 4 then? It was number 4.
The killer is you!
Let's take it from there. Did not notice that on the fucking panels it had Justice Hammer number 4.
The murder weapon was Justice Hammer 4, which was left there in the equipment room. The reason Hammer number 4 was used was to create confusion about the order of the crimes. So, next they falsified 2 more assault incidents. For these attacks, the killers pretended to be the victims to solidify Robo Justice as the suspect. The first fake incident was the attack in the rec room. There, the killers wanted us to see Justice Hammer 1 and the Robo Justice pictures they'd taken. They wanted to make sure we bought the surprise attack story. The second fake incident was the attack in the library. This time, they planted Justice Hammer 2 and an injured Hifumi to sell us that story. With these two incidents, the killers were able to create a certain preconception in our minds that the
Robo is
suspect was
bad.
increasing the size
Robo
of
going
the
bad.
house and attacking people in order as they did. We fell right into their trap and started looking for the suspect based on that. But while we did that, we left Hifumi alone in the nurse's office. This was exactly what Hifumi was hoping for. He took a blood pack.
He went fucking Super Saiyan with the
Justice Hammer 3.
went into like a Black Swan death,
The room into a crime scene
not death,
in which
dance.
he himself had apparently been brutally murdered. He let out a scream to draw us back, and when we returned, that's what we found. Meanwhile, the other group that had been out searching found Taka's body at the same time. So when we heard the body discovery announcement, we naturally assumed it was for Hifumi.
Naturally.
We left the nurse's office, and Hifumi once again took advantage of the situation. He simply got up and made his escape. When we learned his body had disappeared, we all rushed back to the nurse's office. And once again, Hifumi had the chance he was waiting for.
Dude, everything kind of just worked out for Fume, huh?
Into the equipment room. He wrapped Taka's body in a tarp and used the dolly to move it all the way down to the repository. That explains how each of the bodies disappeared. But even Hifumi didn't know what the true killer had in mind for their final act. Their plan all along was to kill Hifumi and get rid of the one person who could betray them. And they did it using an ordinary, everyday hammer from the repository. That should cover everything that happened in this case. And the villain behind it all is...
Oh, nice. I like the flowers.
Celeste! Sorry, you lose.
I like the flowers. Just look at the flowers, kiddo.
Lost? I lost? When was the last time I was forced to utter such words? They hang heavy around my neck.
That won't be the only
You're
thing.
the killer?
Listen to you, trying to take charge, as if you're my private instructor. I, Celestia Ludenberg. Actually, no, Taiko Yasuhiro is fine.
Keiko?
So, you finally accepted it.
Yes, a hero.
I'm the kind of person, once I've lost, I don't like things to drag on.
Oh, and the accent slips as well.
Interesting.
Not bad. Oh, I did terribly. Those are a lot of points for doing terribly. Ew. Not quite sure I agree with that total, madam.
Okay, Monokuma. I'm ready to begin. Or, no, I suppose this is the end, isn't it?
It is indeed the moment we've all been waiting for. Time to vote. Okay? Okay.
I'm gonna kind of be sad to see
Please locate the lever and cast your
Taiko
vote.
go. You know,
When the votes are tallied, who will
like
be
she had a
blackened?
persona to her. She was a
The
character.
right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
Don't do that. It's basically a formality at this point, but once again, you're totally correct. The black in this time, the true killer who devised the whole stinging scheme was Celestia Lunenburg, or more precisely, Takeo Hasuhiro.
Honestly.
I lost. Well, that sucks. I guess trying to work with someone else was a mistake after all. Hifume's ineptitude was beyond all my calculations.
I knew it.
So you really did approach Hifume with this plan? How did you get him to agree? I can't imagine you would have happily agreed to murder. I'm sure she relied on her specialty, lying. My specialty? Don't make me laugh. I didn't have to lie to get him to agree. Then did you use, I knew you'd figure it out, Kiriko. You're absolutely right. To get Hifume to ask is my accomplice, I used her. For everyone who's still left, I'll avoid mentioning it by name, but it was the one thing Hifume and Tako was super into. Does she mean she's talking about alter ego?
Say what?
Just a second.
Don't interrupt. We're in the middle of a very important conversation here. I'm totally out of the loop as usual. How sad. And you're the one who stole it. That's right.
I see.
You used it to drag Hifume into the plan you came up with. My voice is gone, so you're not getting any voices today. Holy shit. My voice went from like, you're alright to fuck. Oh, what are you doing here? It was about what was stolen. I know who did it.
Are you okay with this?
It was Taka. He stole it.
So then...
I have proof. Would you like to see it? I'd found a use for the digital camera. I'd taken, the Taka's room earlier and took pictures of it though. I deleted the pictures as soon as I shown it to Hifume, of course. So it was him. So how did he do it? She was supposed to yell if either of us got close to her. You were correct, which is why Taka forced me to steal it.
As for me...
Please forgive me. He threatened me.
As for me...
He came into my last room unannounced, and then it was very hard for me to say he abused me. And he took pictures. He said if I did not do it as he asked, he would show them to everyone. So I had no choice. Yeah, I knew he got a little crazy, but I never imagined he'd go that far. It was amazing how completely he bought it. I can't even express how enjoyable that was.
Completely unforgivable!
I'm gonna fucking kill him.
Most unfortunate.
Wait, please. If you go now, you will be playing right into his hands.
Actually...
Taka is planning to use her to escape, and he has made you his target. Taka is going to try to kill her.
Indeed.
And also he can keep her to himself.
Honestly.
Can we allow him to continue with these barbaric acts? Absolutely not. How could I? She
I swear!
I have to save her.
Actually...
And would you like to join with me? It just so happens I have come up with a plan. I've devised a way to reclaim what he has stolen and escape this dreadful school. And with that, it is complete. What are you talking about? Oh, nothing. Hifume agreed without a second thought. The effect that item had on him was quite remarkable. The power of love, even a love as twisted as that, could still drive people mad, it would seem. You disgust me. I have another question for you. Was that strange costume Hifume's creation? Yeah, it was a real pain in the butt too. All I asked for him was to make something to hide the face and general body size. I had no idea he would make something like that, but it's my fault for picking him in the first place. So why'd you decide to make me the suspect? Because you're stupid. That's it.
Let's see...
And in that regard, I made the right choice. I'm so glad your stupidity surpassed my every expectation. Life has been tough on your parents, though. I feel like I could cry. But then you were explaining your plan to Hifume. How did you explain the part about him playing dead? What she's asking is, what was Hifume supposed to do after that, assuming you actually let him live?
Are you okay with it?
That's simple. After he did his part and pretended to be dead, when someone showed up, I told him that I told him to say he'd been seriously wounded, but was on the verge of death, but he had just barely held on. Well, of course, it wasn't all there was to it. As I explained to Hifume, the plan was, well, while you were all questioning him, when it happened, I was going to murder someone else. At that point, Hifume would have an alibi, so no one could doubt him. I told him that, and he believed it. It all seems very straightforward, stereotypical. I just matched the lie to the level of the opponent. In fact, Hifume ended up. He believed the lie wholeheartedly right up until the moment of his death.
So in the end...
So you had planned to kill him all along. But of course, there would have been no point in my plan if the one who pretended to be dead did not end up dead himself. How can a human life mean so little to you? That's a non-issue. I simply did everything in my power to win.
Be mean.
Now you're telling by
I
Akuya.
wonder about that.
No, he derives his pleasure from the thrill of the hunt. In that aspect, we are nothing alike. Then what made you take things this far? Was it really just for the money? Are you talking about the $10 million Monokuma offered us? That is a lot of money, it's true. But that's not all there was to it. For the moment our new life began, my only thought has been escape. But all along, you've been saying how we have to accept living here.
Little bitch!
Obviously, that was a lie.
Hey!
I couldn't take it. I hated it from day one. More than anyone else in here.
Little bitch!
I wanted to get out. Every day was a fresh torture. And do you want to know why, huh? Because I had a dream. And accepting a life here would mean that nothing less than giving up on my dream forever. And there was no way I could ever do that. In the underground world of gambling, I risked my life to make a metaphorical killing. It was for that dream.
Isn't it wonderful?
To live in a European castle. Why am I not surprised? And to gather handsome men for all around the world to serve as my butler/bodyguards. I was going to make them dress up like vampires to satisfy my every need. Once I attained that, I would have created a perfectly aesthetic world of decadence. Living the rest of my life was my only dream, my only goal, and that was life was all about. Combined with my own winnings, Monokuma $10 million would have made that dream a reality. I got right to the edge, but unfortunately, my dream has been scattered to the wind. Still, I don't have any regrets. I pursued my dream to the very end, so why would I? You sound so passionate, but were you really able to kill your own friends for it? Are you asking me to feel guilty? That's a pointless endeavor. I think nothing of sacrificing others for my own needs. I feel nothing. That's all there is to me. That's what makes me complete. Isn't it terrifying how different our values are? There's simply no room for understanding.
What is this?
That's what you should be saying, and plus, how can you be so calm? Don't you realize you're about to die? Why aren't you scared? My ability to lie is unrivaled, and I take pride in that. It's not just other people. I can even feel my own emotions. The conscious deceives the unconscious. That's why you're not scared?
Indeed.
That's right. I don't fear death. Kill me however you like. But how you know? But you know, if I could be reincarnated, if I had a choice then,
Isn't it wonderful?
I think I would like to come back as Mary and Annette. And with that line, with her death to be the prime thing of next episode, I'm ending this episode here. Thank you guys for watching. My name is Insane Raven. I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye. Of course, it matches the aesthetic.